in a place called Seaport Island. Imagine a setting like Diablo, but instead of fighting monsters from the depths of hell, you rise up to take on evil spirits that seek to terrorize the island. Enter Ghostlore, a new ARPG that is shaping up to be one of the titles you should be looking out for, especially if you're a fan of the horror genre. The game starts with telling you that your mentor, the master ghost hunter from Seaport Island, is in deep trouble. As a player, you have to find and save him from the evil spirits called Mogwai before it is too late. After saving him, your master decides he is past his prime, and it is time for him to lay the sword down, leaving the mantle to protect the people of Seaport from the Mogwai to you. Ghostlore is a pixel game, but still the developers managed to make this title highly detailed and colorful. The same can also be said for its art direction. Ghostlore is marketed as an Eastpunk ARPG, taking inspiration from Southeast Asian countries, primarily Singapore, Malaysia, and Indonesia. It's a fresh take not only in the ARPG genre, but in gaming as a whole. You can clearly see this throughout the game, ranging from weapons, items, locations, and most significantly, the enemies. In the ARPG genre, enemies are more likely derived from Western influences, but in Ghostlore, you get to fight monsters from Southeast Asian folklore, like a penagal, a vampiric entity from Malay culture, embodied as a dangling body with a dismembered head. Very gross, but very cool. Since we here at GameAid only played the game for a couple of hours, there wasn't much to write home about when it comes to the OST, except for one of the tracks in the second island, which has a really good techno beat that sets a funky tempo to the game's beautifully envisioned Eastpunk setting. Before we start talking about the gameplay, the developer has announced that they are working towards revamping a lot of the stuff, so please keep in mind that some things are subjected to change. As far as ARPGs go, Ghostlore isn't complicated at all, compared to other titles in the genre. To start, you have 6 classes to choose from: Adept, Exorcist, Geomancer, Assassin, Feral, and Sentinel. Ghostlore offers unique and interesting classes and abilities. The Exorcist, who mainly uses paper talismans to aid them in battle, or turn into a were-tiger as the Feral class. Leveling up towards your skill points allow you to unlock certain upgrades for your character. At the start, you only have a couple of skills to choose from, but leveling up later on lets you choose a second and third class at level 15 and 30 respectively, allowing you to optimize your builds later on. While in general skills are easy to understand, they're sometimes vaguely represented in the menu. For example, this is an hourglass symbol, so we can assume it's for cooldowns or maybe a related buff. However, hovering over the icon, it indicates it's a damage buff. The simpler descriptions are great, but it is important to be clear at the same time, since respecting skills can be quite the grind. Ghostlore offers a ton of customization for you to play around with. For example, as a Assassin, you spawn with dual blades called kukris, but this doesn't lock you out from using other different weapons. Which is a great thing, as weapon designs in Ghostlore are unique because of their Southeast Asian inspirations, just like the in-game enchanted talismans. While nowhere lacking in the design department, we, however, found the gameplay implementation of both melee and far-range weapons a little bit lacking. Why would we use a bow if the talisman is clearly better? Ghostlore is missing a necessary function in these types of games, the auto-sort function. You pick up a lot of loot, so having the function is greatly essential. There is only so much our hands can carry. I am not some, flippin' pack mule. Currently, combat in this game is weird, but satisfying, meaning the skills are very cool to use, but the charge system is not. Basically, using skills means using mana and 1 charge. This can be very annoying, as you have to manage 2 resources aside from your HP bar. The game does give you a potion to replenish charges, but this is a band-aid fix at most. As of the time of recording this video, they did give an update that they would be changing this in the coming months, so that's really great news. Cooking also buffs you in Ghostlore. Picking up ingredients on missions can be used to cook different dishes. These dishes can grant you permanent buffs like additional skill damage. You only have one dish slot at the start, but later on you do unlock more. Removing dishes in your slot can be annoying, as the menu is always changing. It's kinda tedious to wait for it. A great change would be being able to save the dishes you've made, but still keeping the rotating menu. A new mechanic that Ghostlore introduces is the Glyph System. These are, to put it simply, buffs you can give to your character. But the interesting part is that the game uses a Tetris-like inventory system. These are called compound glyphs. They buff up the glyphs placed within their set shape. Ghostlore is an incredibly unique experience due to its setting. The game is still pretty fun and engaging, flaws and all. The devs do take in feedback, which is a good thing, as this game does have what it takes to be one of the better titles in the genre. It just needs a little more time. If you are an ARPG fan, definitely check Ghostlore out, but if not, well, what's the harm in trying something new? This is GameMate Information Station, and we'll see you in the next one.